right, the Koi Pond episode podcast 4.
Episode 4.
And Colin has just updated me on the statistics of views, which is quite encouraging.
It is.
From in the 30s to now in the mid-40s.
Yeah, mid-40s.
So appreciate everybody out there that's checking out the podcast.
Yeah.
45 views is a pretty good achievement for the 4th episode.
Yeah, I would say that's much better than I intended to off the bat. So thank you, everyone that's liked, subscribed. We got a couple extra subscribers after last episode
Really?
that we mentioned it. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, so
That's fantastic.
so no complaints. Trying to think. One update, the logo is being made as we speak this very moment. It should, I would imagine, be done in time for the next episode.
Oh, very
And
cool.
I don't know about any big reveal or anything, but it'll be on there. You'll see it. So we'll go from there once I get it. But there's a chance he's going to give us a couple revisions each.
Oh, nice.
And so I'll kind of tinker with that with the artists we're working with, and we'll have it in hopefully by next episode. So that's something fun to look forward to.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to look forward to. And we'll this was kind of a short week, some travel for work and feeling a little under the weather, but we'll get through it and give you the best we got. But I think next week we'll shoot to have something new in the studio with us.
Yes,
something different.
I've thought about, just because it is Christmas time, we've gotten into that month. I meant to bring in a strand of Christmas lights, so it didn't look like we were doing this from a jail cell. But I don't know how many jail cells have hockey sticks. So already a little ahead.
At some point here, we're going to have to rename it the Homeless Podcast.
The I have nowhere to sleep.
That's right.
But I thought that would be kind of fun. I don't know what you have if you wanted to be a surprise too, but I was thinking something along the lines of Christmas lights, because that's easy enough to throw a bunch going from a corner. But we'll work on it.
So
we're brainstorming some ideas of how to make this a little bit more homely.
Sounds like we might have a couple new surprises for y'all.
Yeah, and to start it off, because I don't have any blackface fans to report throughout the NFL, I thought something that would be fun is going with your favorite Christmas cookie.
Favorite Christmas cookie?
Do you have, Mr. Coy, a favorite Christmas cookie?
A favorite? Mine's got to be...
Or maybe a food or beverage that's not hot chocolate. That's easy out.
Well, I mean, if it's a cookie, for me, it would be the basic sugar cookie.
A sugar cookie, a little
some kind of icing, Christmas icing on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about you, from a cookie standpoint?
From a cookie standpoint, I'm a sucker for a snickerdoodle. Not gonna lie. I think that's considered Christmas, right?
It is. I think that's what first popped into my brain, and I was like, "Are those Christmas cookies?"
I don't know.
I would say yes.
I look ruling on the field, say it's a Christmas cookie.
Yep.
I'm trying to bring some festivities to the podcast as best we can.
Yes,
without,
seasonalities, if you will.
Yeah, I might have a Santa hat on next time. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how creative and what I can remember in the morning before we come into work. But
maybe we'll have the Grinch visit us or something. Who knows?
The Grinch will.
Depending on how the games go.
That's part of it. It plays a serious role in our emotional states throughout the week, which is probably not a good thing. But
very
frankly,
bad.
That's where we're at.
Very bad.
And it is what it is.
Fantasy seasons are also coming to a close.
Yeah, playoffs.
We're entering the playoff time.
Most leagues at this point, probably it's next week or in a couple weeks.
I think so.
Is that typical? Is it right about now?
I think most of them are some start this week, some next week, and some 3 weeks from now.
That sounds about right.
So
I can never keep it straight. I think a lot of leagues do it on on their own basis, because I think that's something you said earlier. So that's exciting.
It is.
There'll be some good matchups for that.
But my goodness, that kind of leads us to some of the challenges of the week. And
oh Lord,
my goodness, I cannot remember a more challenging fantasy football season in terms of injuries, people coming back, people getting re-injured, people getting injured now for the season.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen a season so all over the place.
I completely agree. It's
everywhere. Bonkers. I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it seems like there's been a lot of players that have gotten hurt, and then their backups have become starters.
Yeah.
And then there's been split carries, wide receiver 4s that are better than the 2s.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit all over the place, honestly.
It really is. And your ability to kind of maneuver that and find a replacement for whoever you had starting and keep it going, and then find a roster spot without screwing up and letting go of somebody who's going to be really good. That balance of injury, starter, and also player down the stretch who's going to emerge. Hard to keep all that on your roster.
And it's tough to keep everything on the radar and try and predict it. There's been so many upsets from a team standpoint this year of what you'd expect. You know, the Niners going on that 3-game losing streak.
Very unexpected.
Eagles losing to the Jets. The Dolphins losing to the Jets.
Yep.
I think is who gave them a loss.
I think that's right.
It's close enough, you know what I mean? But there's been enough of that back and forth.
Right.
Where, you know, Danny DeVito coming out for the Giants.
Yep.
If you had Saquon, I don't think he's been anything special this
He
year.
had a couple games here that were kind of upsets, you know, unexpected.
Yeah, so hard to predict it. And going forward, my fantasy leagues aren't doing anything crazy, and I really don't know what to expect from them.
I never would have imagined on Thursday night, you know, I had the Cowboys defense in one league, and I never would have imagined that I'd gotten minus 4 points. It was kind of a crazy game.
Oh, it was
fantastic to watch.
Wonderful. We needed that for NFL Prime.
Entertainment, yeah. So,
but I mean, how many heart attacks probably throughout that entirety of the game?
Yeah. So I viewed that one in Chicago,
right?
And very stressed out, and you know, it's already the Windy City, and now it was the stressed out Cowboy City.
Yeah.
And DK Metcalf fortunately had him in another league, so. There's the yin and the
Cowboys still got the win.
Got the win, and that's all that mattered.
But that's prime time. It's not supposed to be pretty.
Exactly.
But, you know, we'll go from there. Trying to think what else happened this weekend. Eagles 49ers.
Eagles 49ers, wonderful game. Went exactly.
Oh,
it was beautiful. It was just what I wanted for Christmas. So
knock them out and beat them silly.
Came early, and that means they should be pretty roughed up for this week. We'll see if they rebound.
Maybe.
Some people are already calling for the backup to play for the Eagles, Mariota.
Yep.
So we'll see. Is Hurts really hurt more than we thought he was?
That'll be interesting. That won't probably come out until the night before, day before. And frankly, you know, a lot of people speculated that game would go the way that it did, but I didn't expect the Niners to come out wearing all black Air Forces.
No.
And at that point, it was kind of obvious that this team wanted blood and death, especially because of last year in the playoffs. That's something that crossed my mind. But I thought the Eagles' defense could do something.
I did too.
Their Eagles' offense is great.
Yeah.
But that defense, I mean, they made Brock Purdy look like the best quarterback in the league by a mile.
I would have bet that the Eagles would have mixed it up, confused him, and it would have been a down-to-the-wire kind of game.
Well, you expect it, too, with them playing them in the postseason last year. That at the very least, the Eagles' defense would have a better idea of what to expect, maybe. But they didn't play Brock Purdy, though. They played the backups, never mind.
Yep.
Because Purdy got hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think so.
That. And the second string got hurt later.
Right.
And then by the end of it, they have McCaffrey throwing the ball everywhere. So, never mind.
Two other little side notes from that jewel of a game. One is who was the defender for the Eagles, or I'm sorry, the Niners that got into it with the security.
Oh yeah,
head of security for the Eagles.
The big Don.
That was a pretty wild situation. And
was it Baumgartner?
I can't
remember the name.
I can't either. Yep. But anyway, I don't know if they both got ejected. Will the security guy get fired or not? There was all kinds of interesting things after that. Kyle Shanahan's says, when can coaches start jabbering at players like that and not have fines or suspensions?
Right.
I think is what he was after.
I don't think I have a strong opinion on the matter, but it is interesting to see. I can't even really remember who did what first.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a heated game. I almost say, let's figure it out later. The ejecting both of them was a little off the top. I see where the NFL's coming from, where they don't want to support that or entertain it like they might have thought of Josh Norman and OBJ back in the day.
Yep.
But it's like, for the love of God, it's just a heated moment. Who knows what the other person said? They'll sort it out, but just let them play.
But to your point, I mean, great reference to an amazing game to watch as a spectator who didn't care for either team.
No.
That was a beautiful thing, and it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
It was just one more thing, and they were just letting them go.
I know.
For the most part.
The Panthers Giants game, I'm assuming you're referencing back in the day.
Yeah, standout game. I mean, it was just so entertaining.
It was crazy.
It was.
But I think of instances like that game. Sorry, I think of when things like this happen, I think back to that game, and that's why they might be so harsh these days to just eject someone from the NFL games.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that's happened more in the last 2 years than it ever did before.
Yeah, I think
it was really never a thought about ejecting players up until like 20, whatever that happened, probably.
Exactly.
So,
now you go back before that. I mean, way back, and it was just like whoever survives. I mean, Conrad Dobler's spitting on people's hands, at the snap, and
you remember the Titans and Houston Texans players getting after it, those wide receivers.
Yes.
And, that famous brawl.
Yes.
And I don't even know. One person might have gotten ejected from that. I can't even remember. But other than that, I haven't seen many instances where players start getting ejected, let alone the security guys.
Yeah, so that was Dre Greenlaw.
Okay.
The linebacker.
Okay.
Apparently, the Eagles security guy said something mouthy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And if you look at it, it's like the 49ers Greenlaw he just kind of went like this and brushed his face.
A little slap of the mouth.
Yeah.
A little chin music.
So,
it wasn't a left hook, but it wasn't like nothing.
Yep. And then to boot, this week you had Commissioner Goodell come out and say that he's in favor of banning the tush push.
I saw that.
So it's just is it all kind of just starting to implode on the Eagles? Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
if they bounce back against Dallas, all this will be long gone. So
exactly.
We'll see.
It'll be interesting. I think Dallas having that game at home too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will be a huge advantage. I think
it's definitely an advantage. It's just a matter of how the Eagles respond to the beat down.
I could see this. I'm assuming they bounce back, but
I would assume that.
What I really think happens is they're dealing with some shit on the side. Because the Eagles don't usually get beat that bad this way through the season. Unless the 49ers stunt and they go on a couple games losing streak.
Exactly.
So that'll be interesting to watch for playoff implications.
For sure. No doubt about it.
The way it stands right now, Dallas is the 5th seed and Philly's the 1st seed at this very moment.
At this moment. They're one game up on the Niners, Cowboys, and Lions, I think.
Atlanta's ahead of them technically because of division, but that doesn't really count.
Yep.
And if the Eagles blow that game, that would put quite the swing on the playoffs and who's where because between Eagles, Lions, Dallas, and San Francisco, it's about a one game in each direction.
It is.
So,
we're
looking at some good football coming up.
Some very, very good football to watch.
Football.
Do we need to revisit our bet of the week? For last week, we went the wrong way and the other way, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a 50-50 because we're only doing over-unders.
I saw it because of the week before. I was explaining that. It's like, prime time, always take the under. And then, which game was it, the Cowboys?
It was Cowboys-Seahawks is the one we just missed on. The one before
but we went under.
Eagles-Chiefs?
Yeah. Eagles-Chiefs. So on the and I'm watching that game and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've done it again. Primetime game. We went under, as the rules tell us to, and the game went the other way.
To the moon.
The
moon. That was
to the moon, Alice.
That was the highest scoring. I mean, I can't. Primetime-wise, that might have been the highest scoring. If not, it had to have been top 5.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, of course, I'm watching it. I have my own bets that I told everyone about, which 2 out of the 3 bets hit. The only one that didn't was 2 out of the 2 touchdowns for Pollard.
Oh, outstanding.
He couldn't get it on the 1 fucking yard line.
Is that where they're at?
Yeah.
1 yard?
Yeah.
God.
But it's okay. Regardless, the other 2 hit, you would have been profit on it if you used even units across the board. But I was watching that in the back of my head. I'm going, didn't we fucking take under at like 44 and this game's already at 50?
Yeah.
It's like, son of a bitch. So, Koi Pond pick is struggling. But you know what?
Figuring it out.
The more you struggle, the harder it's going to come back.
Well, that's right.
So we'll see.
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if any games we want to hit besides the Eagle game. Just a couple of mentions. Don't necessarily have to go down through the whole list, but wow, New England. Didn't they say it was like the 3-game stretch, the lowest points in a 3-game stretch in like some crazy amount of time going back?
Like that the Patriots have scored
the lowest, over that 3 games of like any professional team in like 40 years or something.
It was some wild stat.
Yeah.
That it only fits the Patriots that much better right now. I mean, that defense is good.
Yeah.
It's, I think, top 50% on both offense and defense for statistics with against the pass and run. But that offense is so god-awful.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Not being able to score on the Chargers is saying something.
There's just That doesn't. I mean, there's just no way Bill Belichick. This is he's not going to do it midseason because that's insulting a legendary coach.
Yeah.
But Bob Kraft is going to move on.
You have to.
They should move on. This thing has just been it's not like it's 1 year.
Right. It's been a slow and steady decrease.
Yeah.
I mean, they did better with Cam Newton.
They did.
And that's
So
I agree. It'll be by the end of the season. They'll do it on good terms, more than likely.
I mean,
you have to assume Bill Belichick's smart enough to see the writing on the wall that this will be
a mutual parting of the ways. Word in, Zeke Elliott was the leading rusher at 52 yards.
Yes.
So I'll rest my case.
Eckler sucks. The Patriots are terrible. The Chargers are the Chargers.
Now, Ramon Stevenson did get hurt in the game.
Yes.
On it, I think they did a jet sweep to try to take the quarterback out of the role of the offense, and I think he got hurt on that play, if I'm not mistaken.
It feels like the Patriots don't know who they want.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost even feels like whoever's going to win the role this year will just be the number 2 for next year.
Yeah, because that's not going to be the person.
There's no way. I mean, Mac Jones, poor guy.
Yeah.
He looks defeated in every press conference.
How can the guy have any
excitement? There's nothing to look forward to on a week to week.
Yeah, I mean, so just nothing there.
Chargers are playing for a good draft pick now, in my opinion.
Khalil Mack, 2 sacks. Yeah. Kept it going. Gotta love that guy.
He's leading the league for sacks right now with 15, I think.
Wow, that's incredible.
For my futures bet, we need him to get to 23, or anybody too. But
really,
that's the record. People thought it would have been broken last year, and it should have been, but T.J. Watt had a controversial last game where he got a sack, but they didn't count it. They counted it as a half a sack, so he tied it.
Okay.
But this year, looking for that to be broken. Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt are, I think, the top 3 right now for sacks.
Dang.
So, and with this Patriots Steelers game on Thursday,
I
wouldn't be surprised if T.J. Watt got the rest of the 10.
Could
honestly,
be.
Because these offenses suck.
They're couple honorable mention games. Denver at Houston. Houston slowing down the Broncos. That's impressive.
That was a really good game.
The C.J. Stroud machine rolls on, because that wasn't an easy win for Houston.
That Houston coach, I think, wins Coach of the Year at this rate.
And then you got the Rams playing against Cleveland with no quarterback, but the Rams should have blown them out. The Rams haven't exactly been that consistent team this year.
Props to Joe Flacco.
Exactly.
he came back. He did better.
Oldest guy to throw a touchdown and a pick in Browns history.
Something like that.
And that factors in Bernie Kosar, which is hard to believe. So
he did so well, in fact, that they put him back down on the practice squad. Can you believe that? They get Joe Flacco after whatever DTR did, which I don't think was anything.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, until the end there, didn't do anything. They get Joe Flacco, who put up a first-half fight against the Rams, who you're not really playing against defenses. You're trying to just outscore them.
Yeah.
And they were like, now back to practice squad with you where you belong, 6 feet down. I mean, that's just crazy. That organization's the same organization it was 10 years ago. They just have a new face.
Yep, that's right.
It's pathetic, but I had nothing for them.
Yeah, the Sunday night game, wasn't that Kansas City and Green Bay, I think?
Yes, yeah.
And wow.
Green Bay's...
What a shocker.
Jordan Love is... I mean, that team is getting hot.
Looks pretty damn good.
The right time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be scared of them if I'm one of the top 4 of the NFC, but I definitely think that first round they could be a team to win when they shouldn't. If enough people come in thinking, oh, okay, this is Green Bay, they're 9-7, they should be fine.
Right now they're all in the playoffs, right? They're number 7?
Number 7.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm watching that, and I'm seeing the highlights of the game, and I'm thinking, shit, nobody wants to play them right now.
No. Given it wouldn't be at Lambeau, so that's like an X factor you can take out of it.
True.
And, them beating the Lions at Thanksgiving, I think, was a divisional game that was kind of a fluke, and you kind of go, okay, good for them.
Yeah.
Then they go and they beat Kansas City. What I will say is Kansas City has got to have that mentality that the old Patriots had, where it's like, we just need to get to the playoffs. Then we'll turn off the burners.
True. Could be.
I think the Packers are getting hot, and I think it could be enough of a placebo effect beating the Lions and Kansas City to start it if it wasn't started already.
Yep.
But I also am not sure if they are just playing teams that weren't ready for them and don't care.
Yeah, could be. Right.
I mean, the Chiefs have the AFC West locked down.
Yeah.
They're not it would take some crazy miracle for them to miss the playoffs.
It was interesting. I happened to catch, I think, Pat McAfee's show from Monday.
Might have.
Whenever they had Rodgers on.
Yesterday.
And one of the guys on there was asking him about love, and do you really think love is that good? And you turned me on to the Pat McAfee show, which I'm watching it and enjoying it. And also makes you want to stand at the podcast sometimes, too, because it kind of helps you. I kind of get it, you know? I get why he does that.
We'll bring in one of our raised desks.
Yeah. But they had Rodgers in the studio in New York. The look at, and I'm starting to, Rodgers is winning me over, too. You kind of gave me the first glimmer on that.
Yes.
And I'm listening to him more and more, and he's very sensible. And he's kind of takes out the stupidity of questions that he gets in his responses. It's hard not to think, how's this guy deal with this shit?
Yeah.
One guy in the studio says that question, and he just looks with his eyes like, I'm going to fucking melt your brain.
Yeah.
How many times on this very show have I said, watch the guy and give him a chance?
Yes.
You know, and you guys always want to jump to these... And he even kind of said something to McAfee, and McAfee kind of laughed because he kind of called him out too.
Well, yeah, it's everyone always wanting these quarterbacks out of college to become great right at the get-go.
Exactly.
And, not everyone can be that way. Sure, a few throughout the years have been, but for majority, most of them haven't been.
Yep.
And the inability of patience and letting people learn that have the potential but maybe don't understand defenses yet or whatever it could be. I have no clue. But
yeah, it was
he
just
goes on to talk about that a little bit.
It was just so great to hear him say, whether you're picked, at the last of the draft or you're picked at the top, it means nothing.
Right.
It means so much about the situation, the person's development, where they came from, what shit's going on outside that time.
Right.
All these kind of things. It was just kind of, it was really interesting. And he really won me over the week before. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but he was talking about how while he was off injured, Dak became one of his favorite quarterbacks to watch.
That must have been a weird moment for you.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, I meant to bring this up, and we ran out of time. We had enough last week, but I thought, Colin's, desire to bring me into the Rodgers and McAfee fold has just come full circle now, because when he complimented Dak and he did it in such a great way, I was like, okay, I'm a fan.
Yep. Yep. All right.
The last game probably you might just want to touch on is, because it segues,
right.
Cincinnati at Jacksonville.
Right. That was, Monday night.
Whoa.
That was a crazy game.
What a shocker.
Multitude of reasons. I would say the Jaguars backup quarterback, Beathard.
Yeah, C.J. Beathard.
Beathard?
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a lisp when you say his name. That's kind of funny.
He came from the Niners.
Of course. That guy coming out and still putting up a fight as like a cold open type of moment.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Browning looked impressive. It seems like the Jaguars really do play to whatever team like skill that they're playing, and they just match it. I mean, there's times I thought the Jaguars should have won that. There's other times it was like the Bengals just seemed to have their number.
Yep.
And that was the first road win for the Bengals on primetime since 1990.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It might have been specifically Monday night. Now
that I think about it, but in prime time or
they haven't won on the road since then. So that was crazy. Happy for them though.
Yep.
That was a huge win, and they're still in the AFC, picture.
Yeah, who would have thought Browning would have thrown for 354 yards?
And there were some people that did, but not many.
No.
That was a crazy, crazy game. Props to the Bengals.
Then the Jaguars had some issues.
Trevor Lawrence went down. They're saying he might even come back next week.
I saw that.
And it's a high ankle sprain. Ankle sprain. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the first time if someone can do it, but it just seems like it's going to be a little rough for him to
do that.
Game by game, we'll see. I have no idea what to think about that, to be honest.
Yep.
But if the Jaguars were to lose him, that'd be bad. I have to imagine they send him a week just for the sake of not wanting to re-injure it, make it worse.
I would think.
But
you have Christian Kirk, the receiver, got hurt as well.
Oh,
and they had I think that's somebody else go down.
Was there a defensive
that might have been it.
But yeah, Christian Kirk screwed my parlays, that bastard.
Gosh, that was a brutal game for the Jaguars health wise.
I mean that first play he went for 26 yards, came down, and now they're saying it's a core injury and they'll have to do some surgery on it.
Oh, Lord.
I think they said it's 6 weeks from whenever he gets the surgery, he'll be back.
Wow.
Which I'm assuming was today since they announced it. So
Whew, brutal.
If they're still in the playoff race / not out of it, I guess by then it'll be playoffs. So
wow.
He might be back. He might not be. It's probably more up to how the Jaguars do.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to listen to. But it seems like that new guy, was it P.J. Washington?
Yeah.
Something Washington on the Jaguars. He'll be fine. He's already a better rookie than Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
So add another wide receiver to that list of people they could have taken instead.
There you go.
But I think the Jaguars will be fine from the sound of it. They have is it them that have, they might have an easy rest of their schedule. I can't remember. There's one or two teams that do, and they might be one of them.
Yeah, they've got this coming week game. They play at Cleveland, so not too bad.
No, I'd imagine they'd play that backup quarterback for that game.
Yeah,
they probably don't want Myles Garrett destroying Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly, outside, cold weather,
and by then 2 weeks later, he should be all good to go. I would imagine, but that'll be interesting to watch. If the Jaguars miss the playoffs, that'd be wild. Or the AFC South could easily have Jaguars, Colts, and Texans in the playoffs by the end of this.
Yeah. So they've got their schedule out is at the Browns, home against the Ravens, at Bucs, away at the Panthers, at Titans.
So they could easily win 4 out of the 5 of those.
Mm-hmm. I would think so.
I would say at least 3 out of the 5, depending on how Browns do. But
I'd agree.
They'll be okay. Then in that case, we could really see 3 out of the 5 teams in that AFC South, 3 out of 4 teams in the AFC South win that. Or make the playoffs.
That'd be wacky, wouldn't it?
That would not be on my bingo list for the season, that's for sure.
So, you want to talk just briefly about kind of the upcoming schedule?
Yeah.
Highlight a couple games?
Yeah, sure. So, I guess we start with Patriots Steelers tomorrow, right?
Yep. So, how many total points?
Yeah, so just to put this in perspective, Army-Navy's game right now, over-under is 28.5. On some books right now, it's 29.5 for Patriots Steelers.
Is it really?
30.5 on FanDuel, and 29.5 on ESPN Bet right now.
Dang.
Frankly, I hate every bet in this game. I don't like anything. I'm not confident in anything. And with that being said, the only bet I'll be placing on this game is Steelers to win. I don't know how the Patriots lose this, but this is at
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
TJ Watt will find a way.
TJ Watt,
will probably score a touchdown.
I could see a defensive touchdown on the Steelers, and for that reason,
that will be more than the Patriots' offense can do.
Yes. I'm confident in Steelers' money line. I am not confident in how that happens. So that's my only personal bet for everyone this weekend. Stay away from everything else unless you like defensive props. I mean, honestly, Steelers' defense to get a touchdown, not a terrible idea. Yeah. I don't endorse it, but if you sprinkle, hey, God bless you. This game's going to be ugly.
And just in case you want to make the trip to Pittsburgh to watch that lovely game, it's in the bottom third in terms of the cheapest tickets you can get to go to an actual NFL game.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
At $32 a seat. So
makes sense.
A great value for the family right there.
Yeah. Do you want to attempt to pick on this? Over under 30.5?
We've been doing the Thursday games, haven't we?
Yep. We kind of have to.
It's here, isn't it?
30.5. This is when we saw it. Oh. 30.5.
30.5 that's right now.
That's right now.
Over and under.
Over or under. My opinion would be under.
I've been wrong every time I've done this.
And the only reason I'm saying under is the books, when they go to an extreme, typically that's because they know it'll go to the complete extreme. So
okay.
You would think because, 30.5, we need to go over.
Yeah.
I think it's like 15.
Okay. Let's go under.
Official.
Let's go under. Pick. All right, there it is.
Under 30.5.
Place your bets. Place your bets.
I will take the fall for this one if this is a complete loss. But you know what?
All right.
If we go 0-3 on the Koi Pond picks, that means we're going to go 6-0 in the playoffs.
There it is. We're just getting started, people.
We're getting built up.
Getting started here.
Getting built up.
You just want to highlight a couple games out of the rest of the slate?
Yeah, sure. That's fine, man.
So one that catches my eye, you got Rams at Ravens.
Oh.
If the Rams are playing with Stafford in and they've got Williams back at running back, and they're playing a good game, they could
They could put
They
up a fight.
potentially put up a fight.
The Ravens being at home might be their safety net of an out.
Could be.
And I guess the Ravens played decently last week.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens probably win that, but that will be interesting to see the Rams at potentially full health.
Yep.
Or near as they've been.
Yep. Then you got the other one that's interesting here, Seattle at San Fran. San Fran
was that Thanksgiving the San Fran beat down the Seahawks?
I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was like 31-15 or 17.
It was a beatdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect – it seems like the 49ers have the Seahawks number.
Yeah.
I can't say that for sure because I don't pay that close attention. They have a NFC West when it comes to division games. But, they put up that great fight against the Cowboys and lose. That's got to sting a little bit.
Yep.
And the 49ers feel like they're on a tear.
Yep.
So, I think more than likely the 49ers comfortably win that.
Yep.
If I remember that the spread was 10.5 for that one.
Okay.
So, we'll see.
Then we got our two teams. We got the late game. We got Denver at LA Chargers. Feel on that one?
The only thing I would give the Chargers there is it's home.
Yeah.
But, that just means – and by that I don't mean they have home field advantage. I mean they're not mile high.
Yeah.
So, frankly, I mean –
at least that's neutralizing that, right?
Yeah. On it with the wide receivers core group and Quentin Johnson having the most receiving yards last week on that team. They just need to lose that game and just get the draft pick. But
like you said,
I don't know.
Picks.
Yeah, it's a divisional game. It'll be close. It'll be good. I don't have much else for that game, honestly.
Then the Sunday night game, we talked about it enough earlier. The Eagles-Cowboys at Dallas.
That'll have a lot of implications.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes, I think that'll be a great game. A lot of bad blood, probably a couple fights.
I think so. And I think a couple players are coming back for the Eagles this week, of course. Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
And I think Cunningham, the linebacker.
Probably.
Zach Cunningham will be back, so that'll put some added heat on the Cowboys.
And I thought I saw Ndamukong Suh is trying to sign with the Eagles too.
Is that it?
I don't know if that's real news or not, but
and they just signed Leonard from the Colts, formerly of the Colts. So
they got the wide receiver, didn't they? Didn't what's his name from the Falcons?
Yeah, Julio Jones a couple weeks ago. So we'll
Eagles.
We'll see how the retreads do there. A few of them.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think Cowboys win it, but I don't know how.
I think it'll be close, but
Definitely
I think Dallas will win it. Yep. Okay.
Oh, well, I've got a little game for you if you want to.
All right.
I don't know if you remember me texting you this.
I do. Remember you said you had something.
Yeah, so we're trying something new here. Now, I don't know how this is going to go. This is the first try of it, and obviously I'll show the great people what you're looking at. So I'm going to give you a player's stats. It has all of their entire career stats.
Yep.
And I'm curious if you can guess who it is.
All right.
I've softballed you the first one.
You have.
I softballed it because I'm not sure how this is going to work, and I have no idea how I'm going to make it work.
Emmitt Smith?
Damn it. Okay, so I really softballed that one. I didn't know what I was working with here.
Was that quicker than you thought?
No, I would say you're about on par.
Okay.
But that was a quick one. All right. Let's see. All right. See. I was debating with Logan how hard to make these.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, where?
Yep. All right. I thought that would give it away too. I think I'll make these harder next week, but I wanted to see what we were working with here. Now this one might be a little harder.
We're gonna have to come up with a name for this segment.
I know. I don't have an idea.
San Francisco, 96. Dallas. Philadelphia. T.O.?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of the segment, people. Thank you for coming. All right.
I like that.
No, yeah, that's the idea. It was a soft pitch, obviously.
They're all Cowboy players associated.
Yes,
so
I was trying to find that. Next time, I think I might find players that went to the Cowboys for a couple years that maybe mostly play with another team.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then I might sprinkle into some different eras.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Are you confident on big wide receivers and maybe big players throughout the
history?
90s and history in general?
Yeah, you could probably even, I mean, the 90s certainly. You could probably even roll back to the 80s if you wanted to.
I might bring in 5 next time. Quick that one and see if I can get any better.
Well, we'll have to come up with a name for that segment. Stump the statistician or
let us know.
We need your inputs here.
Yeah, we need suggestions. I'm sure I'll hear plenty. But
I love that game though.
that was the concept. Given I'm sure that got a lot of entertainment value. I completely butchered how hard that needed to be. The problem was I knew it needed to be hard.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you're one that can visualize that or not. And I've got a couple of the games I've seen and thought of that'll be fun too.
Sweet.
And I'll probably do one a week. It'll rotate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would the TO at least took you a second. That one I thought would be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Having the teams on there doesn't help.
That makes it easier. That's what I cued in on. Yeah.
But that's smart because I need to maybe I'll just give you flashcards of what it is at the time. I don't know. I'll figure something out. That'll be a quick segment. Games with Kois or something like that. I don't know.
Love it.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But
feed the pond.
Yeah, feed the pond. Treats for the fish.
That little machine where you put the coins in and turn it.
Fish feeder.
Is this cat food? What is this?
Trying to think. A bunch of quarterback injuries in the NFL right now. A bunch of backups in. That'll be interesting to watch with playoff implications. I mean,
it really is.
In the AFC, Jaguars now, Pittsburgh maybe, Cleveland, and Indianapolis. The bottom, 4 teams that right now that are in the playoffs all have backups in.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think about, but
is.
Indy's making it work nicely, I would say.
They are.
Gardner Minshew's the best quarterback they've had that's previously played in the league since Rivers. Cleveland is a mess, but with that defense, they could make it work.
Yep.
Pittsburgh somehow just makes it work. I don't know what the hell they're doing. And the Jaguars just got on that train.
Yep.
So we'll see if they fall off or they keep it going. And I think they will keep it going because they're still a possible 1 seed.
Yep.
Given now, not so much.
Yeah.
We'll see how the NFL plays out any fucking weekend. It's very nice. And then in the NFC, I mean, I'm just not even going to count the NFC South because, frankly,
what the hell is that shit?
They should old Yeller.
Yeah.
That fucking team. It seems like now every year, and it's happened to be the NFC South every year.
Yep.
Or, sorry, the last few years, that they just have some terrible fucking team that gets in, and it's like, why not make it in that circumstance?
Yep.
Whoever's the 8th seed, technically.
Yep. Slides up.
Yeah, not switch out, slides up.
Yep. But it reminds me, it was the mid '80s, I think, and the Cleveland Browns went 8-8 and won the division.
Yeah.
And got that spot because they won the division.
Yes.
And it was a huge deal back then.
And, of course, I know why they can't do that because then there's no incentive to win the division necessarily. You just got to do the best.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Jesus Christ. How many years in a row before someone says something?
In Atlanta, if they win that.
They're hosting.
What was your score against the Jets? 13-6 or 12-6 or some crap?
8, I think it was
good grief.
Atrocious. I guess not as many backups in the NFC that I'm looking at that have playoffs. So that's good. That's good for football. But
Minnesota is in trouble.
Yeah, Minnesota.
That's 6-6 because
they're sliding quick.
And Green Bay is 6-6 on their heels.
Yeah, Green Bay I will say is on the up. Minnesota's back on the downswing.
Yeah.
They got a little high up with their whatchamacallit, what are they calling him? The astronaut, but it was
Dobbs or Dobbs.
Yeah,
what was that?
The stupid nickname.
Yeah.
It was pissing me off, but good for him.
So there's a few teams pressed in there, and the Rams coming on too, maybe.
Yeah, and with this being the last 5 weeks of the NFL, this is the best time for NFL because this is where everything starts hurting a lot more. You know, those games they lost the first few weeks, who they lost to, it'll be for tiebreakers and who gets the first seed. I'm definitely pumped to be going to that Dallas-Detroit game now because it looks like it's going to matter quite a bit.
It's going to be right in there.
If they win this upcoming weekend, the Cowboys, that'll matter a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped for that.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, because then the Lions are going to have a chance to play for the number 1 seed still.
Yep.
So
that'll be a huge game.
If they wind up tied, the Niners and Lions, the Niners will have the number 1 seed because they won the tiebreaker over Detroit based on the best win division and conference games.
Makes sense.
So there's the scoop on that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that will be a blast to watch.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to it once we get through the hump of Patriots Steelers. I still can't believe they didn't flex that or do anything with it, but
yeah. To change that up.
I guess we haven't had any worse primetime games.
Yeah.
Because there was one a couple Chicago and Vikings. Is that where there was like no touchdown to the fourth quarter and was Hawkinson, or something like that maybe. But primetime games this year.
Yep.
It's every year now, but I guess I should just get used to it.
What else you got on the NFL front?
NFL front, I don't think I've got anything else.
Anything?
I have nothing to say about the Chargers. They suck. They should continue to suck and save Herbert. That's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get you. It's time to get the coach. We've talked about that.
The fact that he hasn't been fired yet, I have no idea what to say about. But I think that just means it's going to be a much bigger role changes coming forward, coming to light at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They won't make the playoffs. They'll miss them. And when that happens, I think there's going to be a lot more happening on the coaching roster than what most people think.
Yep.
Or at least that's what I hope, even though in reality it probably won't do shit and it'll just happen in the offseason. But I'm torn. I don't know what to think. Only putting up 2 field goals on the Patriots is pretty bad.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm just expecting a huge change in coaching overall, I would say.
Yep.
It'll
I think you're right.
to watch, but
it's
we'll
coming
go from there. You got anything else on the NFL front?
Nothing on the NFL front. Just a couple other
movies, or what you got?
Well, one mention I think we have to do is the Miami of Ohio Redhawks.
Yeah, they won the MAC.
MAC champions finally took out the Argonauts.
Yeah, Toledo Rockets.
Rockets, sorry.
No,
yeah,
same difference.
I was thinking of Canadian football there.
That was a crazy game.
Yep.
I was incredible Miami defense. The backup quarterback, Avion Smith,
yeah.
however you say his name.
We got to keep it for Gabbert instead.
Yep, is going to the transfer portal and will no longer be with Miami.
Is he really?
Because Brett Gabbert is coming back.
Really?
For another season.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's going to have a longer Miami career than most quarterbacks have had in the NFL. I don't know how the fuck he's coming back, but you know what? I'm not going to complain if it means Miami's going to keep doing well.
Yes.
The kicker is also transferring. I believe he had one of the high. He went 26 for 27 on his kicks this year.
No kidding.
Which I think was either the highest or like pretty high up there.
Damn.
In the entire college football.
Wow.
So good for him. He's going to the transfer portal. He'll be gone.
Good grief.
But as far as I know, the rest of the players are coming back that I've seen so far. I can't say I've kept my eye on it a little bit, but it was exciting. They won. It was awesome. Pissed they didn't get ranked. I don't know how Toledo enters that game ranked 23 and Miami comes out of it unranked.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine.
That's bizarre. You're right.
A lot of people had Miami ranked on their personal rankings at the end of the season because there was the FSU stuff.
Yeah.
Where people thought they should have gotten in. People thought Texas shouldn't have gotten in. Alabama, obviously. So be it.
Yeah, how about Alabama knocking off Georgia? That's incredible.
I mean, that was a great win. I know there's people that I don't watch college football enough. My opinions mean nothing. I don't even endorse them. But I mean, it is pretty hard to choke that final game to Alabama and then still put them up there.
Yeah.
Especially if you're already going to plan on including Alabama.
Yeah.
Michigan made sense. I think a lot of people agreed with Washington. Seems like Texas, FSU, Alabama, and Georgia were the 4 they really talked about. You know, how they decided who deserved what. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to give an educated opinion, but it was cracking me up how many people were mad about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I must admit, when it comes to sports, chaos is my favorite. So I enjoy just the absolute
people getting
madness.
all ticked off and pissed at shit.
Yeah. But it will be nice next year, 12 teams in the playoffs. I think that'll solve a lot of problems and create new ones, and we'll see what those new ones are once it comes around.
Well, they certainly with Florida State, they certainly alienated anybody that was left defending that whole thing.
Yes.
Because it what the hell?
That was interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least there's football. It should be good games. I'm assuming partially the TCU game last year is part of the reason they might have taken FSU out. But again, I don't have enough knowledge on the matter to really confidently give a take. It'll be fun to watch. It'll give me something to do on New Year's Day, and I'll bet accordingly.
That sounds like that'll be a good day.
It will be. Trying to think if there's anything else crazy in the general news world that has been going on, sports news-wise, I mean.
Yeah.
Nothing in particular.
I can't think of a whole lot there.
No, Miami won. It's wonderful. It's dark out and everything sucks.
We did, just as we were coming into the broadcast, got a notification that there's an active shooter I believe on the campus of UNLV.
Yep. They're playing Dayton tonight.
So it's supposed to play at Dayton at 9 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
And University of Dayton basketball.
Yep.
Go Flyers.
Go Flyers, of course.
And sad to hear that. And
terrible thing.
Prayers for everybody out in Las Vegas and family and all that. That I don't know what happened if the shooter killed themselves. Usually that's the way it goes. But just sad to hear that kind of thing, and sad to hear that something hitting so close to us, given the game tonight.
For sure. That's a terrible thing.
Let's see. Movie-wise, I don't have anything offhand. Do you have anything movie-wise?
I don't think we've said this movie yet. The Gentleman.
All right. I don't think we have either.
And I think that was a good pick for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Guy Ritchie movie.
Guy Ritchie. You've got
Matthew McConaughey.
Thank you. Matthew McConaughey.
Colin Farrell.
I mean, just some great English actors mixed in with what's Lincoln commercial?
Matthew McConaughey, yeah.
Fuck, why can't I remember that man's name? Absolute legend.
No, there's reasons to want to not remember him, but
yeah,
this is actually a case where he is a pretty damn good-ass movie.
No, that movie's amazing. That would be my pick of the week. If I'm, I guess I got the Koi Pond pick. I don't get the movie pick.
that is a hell of a pick. No, that's perfect.
That's a great movie. Highly recommend.
If you haven't seen it, you definitely have to.
It's a standalone, easy to watch, hilarious.
It's got everything.
It's got everything you want: humor, blood, English.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty gangster. It's pretty fun to watch.
You got to love the English slang, the use of words.
I've had more fun watching those types of movies because it's kind of hard to take the English seriously with that fucking accent. But bloody good job, and it's Tuesday, isn't it? But it cracks me up.
A bit of double bubble.
Yeah.
Raymond, is that Wagyu?
Yeah.
I never had Wagyu. Hugh Grant is also in it.
Great movie.
So,
great.
Got to go check that one out. It'll be well worth your time.
Yep.
I think I've watched it like 7 times now.
Mm-hmm. Great movie.
Yep.
That's my pick of the
week.
Yep. You guys.
And we have no official sponsor, this week. So there are episodes to claim if
we'll go back.
That's right. We're a little bit like Adopt a Highway.
Yeah.
And so if the spirit moves you and you want to,
you can comment below. I'm sure.
Recommend a sponsor, no sponsor. We'll be happy to mention them during the broadcast, and
any good bars around here we could call out, since this is kind of becoming between an NFL and a Dayton, Ohio podcast.
Well, I kind of think one that you and I both liked, good lunchtime place.
Good lunchtime
that we could throw out if you've been to Moraine or haven't been. Maybe come to Moraine and check out Treasure Island.
Yep.
Great little spot.
Amazing.
Throwback, kind of supper club feel place.
Yeah, very good ambiance.
Yep.
There's a
little sunken bar in there.
It's a cool bar. It's
great food.
Themed well, a classic in the Dayton area.
Yep.
If you've lived here for more than 10 years, you've heard of it at least a couple times, probably.
Been here for many, many years.
Yep. Right next to the old, what was that?
GM
plant.
Yep. So
amazing spot to grab a sandwich.
Well, we pulled a couple classics out there: the Gentleman and the Treasure Island Supper Club. So
it's on theme.
Perfect, right?
Why not?
Sponsor, no sponsor.
Sponsor, no sponsor. Thank you, Treasure Island. We're gonna force sponsors.
Might have to go there tomorrow.
Burger does sound damn good.
Cheeseburger and fries for Colin.
Yeah. Give me a Coke.
Bowl of vegetable soup or chili for me.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Now I'm hungry.
It's kind of funny. I almost brought that up today.
I wouldn't blame you.
If we go to Treasure Island for lunch, we could do a little planning for the podcast tonight. So maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't complain.
All right. Done deal.
I have to check on the boss, make sure he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's kind of a prick. I don't know. You never know with that old guy.
Yeah, I heard he's a bastard.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Trying to think if there's anything else. UEC and crypto's up.
Oh my gosh, that was it. So UEC, is it? I think it was about 560.
It was
570, somewhere in there.
Is it like 670 now? 645.
I think so.
Yep.
Pretty good, huh?
Moving well.
Yeah. And when we mentioned Bitcoin last week, it was 37,000.
Yep.
And today it's 44,000.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crypto news going on, and it feels like people are. I wouldn't say taking off because it hasn't done that yet. But
yeah.
There's something's
going.
I saw some news about some was it banks getting ETFs or
I think that's part of it.
Something I don't know the lingo for it enough, but there's been movement and it's caused it to start consistently rising throughout the night. I think Dogecoin got to 10 cents at some point last night / today.
No kidding.
And then Shiba Inu coin I have a lot of just because it tails crypto and it's cheaper. But that moved quite a bit last night into today. So
wow.
I'm interested to watch to see how that goes over the next several months. I don't know if it's the end of the year and everything's just going up. Yeah. And I should sell by January 2nd, or if it's actual news that'll keep it steadily going up.
Yep. I don't know. I think it's hard to say, but like Bitcoin cryptocurrency is kind of interesting because people always want to compare it to like gold and silver, right? Yeah. But the reality is that typically gold and silver go opposite of the general market. So if the stock market's going up, those go down. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it seems like crypto more follows the market. Mm-hmm. So when the market's going up, crypto goes up. Right. And maybe it's the type of investor that likes those investments versus gold and silver.
And it could be
more risky. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but certainly the what they call the halving of Bitcoin is coming up like in the next 3 to 6 months.
Interesting. Oh, that's right. So there's less in circulation.
The ETF thing that you're talking about is getting a lot of media, and then I also saw that. If you don't follow a particular stock that you could follow for Bitcoin is MicroStrategy. Mm-hmm. The symbol is MSTR. And Michael Saylor, who's a huge proponent of Bitcoin, they just bought like another $100 million worth of Bitcoin in the last month, something like that.
Jeez.
And their company stock has been going through the roof. As Bitcoin goes up, it goes up.
Huh.
And so that's an interesting... that they're investing so much more right now too. So I don't know.
Interesting news coming out about that, and I guess we'll just sit and wait and watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about it personally, but I have a bunch I hold just because. So
just enjoy the ride, I guess.
Yeah. If it goes to $1 million, I want to be there. But as long as I hold it, it won't. As soon as I sell it, it will. So I have no doubt in my mind. But we'll just see.
Shit does tend to work that way.
But it feels like it's about to pop the bubble. I don't know what that would look like or how that would go, but it'll be interesting.
Yep. Agree.
Well,
what do you think, man?
I don't have anything else. That's all the notes and more that I could think of.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for Podcast 4.
Podcast 4 is a wrap.
On the Koi Pond?
Yep, from the Koi Pond. Hopefully we have a logo next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please, and thank you. There's a lot of you that have watched the podcast consistently that are not subscribed yet. So
thank you for following. Thank you for watching.
Appreciate you watching. Yep. Sub would be nice. If you don't want to, I understand. Yep. You never know when we're just not going to come back. It might be 5 and never again. Who knows?
You never know.
We should have some Christmas themes going on. And
don't forget to get out there and get some of your shopping done. How many days we got left before the big shit show?
19. Well, less than that. 19 till Christmas, but... We'll see, and I appreciate everyone watching.
Yep. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next Thursday. I have no good outro to this yet. I don't know what to fucking say.
Koi's out.
Koi's out, baby.